everybody was telling Brian, cut your hair, cut your hair, cut your hair. And when he went into the audition, he came in with his hair down to his anus.
Yeah.
And,
good catch. Good catch.
I don't think anus is better, though.
And the casting director and the main producer fell in love with it. They said, this is a character that we can use. And so he just, boom, he hit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was. Exactly. My hair, it draws a lot of attention. Obviously, I'll let it goes pretty far down, close to my anus. Yeah. So,
Hey, don't file Ray's lead.
Yeah. Hey, now tell them the name that they were calling you on the set for.
I got hit right away. Day one, Fabio. Everybody, Fabio.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I had to Google him. I had to figure out who the hell Fabio was. Yeah.
And then he had all the female what do you call it, ADs, assistant directors. They were all like going, it's Fabio here again. Fabio.
They're all Googling.
Yeah. A lot of heavy breathing and panting.
So was it hard to become an actor? What's the trick behind it?
I feel like I have a true love for it, so I didn't find it to be that hard. Like, I loved it. I'm not shy, so it was easy.
No?
Yeah, so it was easy to put myself out there, and I have a work ethic because I love it. So it seemed pretty easy so far, but I know it's only going to get tougher and tougher. But
now, recently you were just in a play, right, in the Village. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the play was written by Greg Greenberg called Saps, and Michael Rispoli, who I worked with Stano with, directed it. And he sent me the script, and it was 95 pages.
Wow.
And he said, Brian, I'd like you to take a look at the script, and if you like the script, come and do an audition. So once I saw it was 95 pages,
did you think you were going to get the part?
Oh, yes.
Or did you think it was a favor? Or
No, Michael, he doesn't really get favors. Yeah.
You don't believe in favors.
Yeah, exactly. So I went in there, and there was there was 50 Chucks that auditioned for the role. So, and I got it, which was pretty awesome.
Okay.
But, once I saw that it was 95 pages of script, I instantly said, Michael, I want to do this. I want an audition, because I knew working with him every single day would just get me so much better. I'd be able to work on my craft all the time. So I learned 95 pages of dialogue, and I crushed it. It was awesome.
Now, I heard through the grapevine that you not only did you memorize your lines, but everybody else's. Is that true?
Well, it was. I started to look a lot about their lines, because it's I was learning so much through acting and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I got my lines, but I really want to know what the hell they're saying to me,
Very good.
Yeah, because it's all about listening, and the way you're saying something to me right now is the way I'm going to respond back to you. So so I really start to see what the hell they were actually really saying to me, and that opened up a lot more in my craft. Yeah.
Right.
Now let me ask you this: your father, the great Rob Drummerhauser, was a part of the Mets for so long, but nothing made him more proud than to watch you play baseball.
Yeah.
How did he make the transition to you as an actor? Was it the same excitement and love that he always had?
Yeah, I think it truly was, and that was the hardest thing for me to do, is to bring myself to go to him and say, I don't want to play baseball anymore.
Did he cry?
I cried. I was crying, hysterically crying, telling him, because it made us so close, and it made my dad into a best friend for me. And so I really didn't want to give that up.
Right.
And I went to him, I told him, and he's like, all right, what do you want to do? And I was like, no way, it was just that easy. And he said, I'll support you in anything. And then him coming to see the play, that was because it's almost the same thing, he kind of
watches. Was it intimidating? Knowing that he was there like that, him and your mom?
No, I loved it. Great. I got to put on a show for them.
That's great.
And then also after 2 months full of every single day, 10 hours rehearsing, I just wanted to just go and do it,
I got to tell you guys a quick story. We were playing a team. Again, the Hank Shanks organization was very, very intense.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were part of the Yankees at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody wanted to beat us. No matter what. And so one time we were playing a game. His father was my assistant coach. And so one day, and the hardest thing is that when your son is playing on the team. My son was on the team. His son was on the team. And one time in particular, there was a situation where the pitcher for the other team was like throwing at us. And so then him being a dad was saying, "You think they're going to throw at my son? You think they're gonna?" And I said, "Listen, Rob, I'll take him out of the game." And he goes, "No!" And it was like... Anyway, I don't know why I told that story.
No, it's a funny story.
Rob, I just wanted you to know that I'll get you back someday.
So Brian, what's the difference between acting in a movie and on theater, on stage?
Good
Everything.
question. I like that.
Yeah, that is a great question.
Yes.
And everything. So a movie will be like a quick scene.
Right.
You have a real quick scene, a couple lines here, there, and then okay, cut. It's really, they put you in no position to kind of fail.
Right.
The camera is perfect angle.
Right.
Like they're getting my shots, your shots, and everything like that.
Like
and
these cameras.
they can edit it out exactly. Yeah.
Right.
They get my good side. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy.
They can edit everything out, but like a play is real time.
Right.
So our play was an hour and 30 minutes. So once I'm out there doing my first thing, boom, hour and 30 minutes later, it's when it's done. So but it was amazing. It was so therapeutical for me. I don't know if that's a word, but I love it. It was the best. I love plays. It really.
Hey, but which one was more intimidating, the acting in a film or acting in a play?
In the play, because the film was we were on a baseball field.
Right.
You remember the first day?
Right.
We're out on the field, and they're like, "All right, guys,
Right.
yeah, just do like a little quick game." So instantly, I'm like, "Oh, thank God! I've been playing baseball my whole life." So that really helped, like getting me into the film mode. Yeah, the film I think was a lot easier.
Now we often ask musicians or different people, do you thrive off the audience when you're performing on stage?
Yeah, I get a high from it.
Yeah,
I can't lie. I can't really see them,
right?
But I can feel them, and I did. It was like before a baseball game, before a big game, I got those butterflies. I was behind stage, I listened to music, jamming out, I loved it. Yeah, I do get a high from the audience.
Now, what's next?
What's next? I got a couple of short film things that I'm doing here, and I'm also been looking very hard to find myself an agent and stuff like that. And it's just I see the little steps that I have to take. I just every single day I'm researching what I can do next. So I've been getting myself in contact with a lot of agents and stuff like that because pilot season's coming out soon. So with all the new auditions and everything. So
will you be getting a haircut? I mean, the fact that it is pilot season, different roles, different type of characters.
I mean,
what do you do about that?
Yeah. I mean, hair grows back, so I'll cut it if I have to. But I do. It separates me from a lot of other people having the long hair. I can't lie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a lot of high school productions out there. Young people watch this show, reach out. What advice would you give them if they wanted to kind of take that plunge to be an actor or an actress?
It's very different from a team sport where you have a set practice and you have a set this and set that and you have to show up on time, and where this is, if you want to excel in it, you really have to do a lot for yourself.
Right.
You have to research everything. You have to just do a lot for yourself. Whereas baseball, is great because you show up at 7:00, you have practice, whatever. This is it's all on you. So I would say if you want to do it, go for it, and just know it's going to be a lot work with yourself that you're going to have to do. You're not going to have a team to fall back on.
Right.
If you had a son,
yeah,
would you push him to be an actor?
I would, because I wouldn't push him to anything, but I really think acting is beautiful because you get to explore all your emotions and you get to put so much of you and everything like that into a play or a film or something like that. So it helps you. It's made me a better person becoming an actor because I'm more empathetic because I have to look at a million different ways I view things now, and I'm very open-minded and stuff like that. So yeah, I think my son, if I had one, I would try to make him an actor.
Okay,
beautiful.
Well, we have a lot of people watching this show. How can people get a hold of you? If you had a scout out there, they might be interested.
I mean, I'm on IMDb. My page name is just Brian, Bryan, and then Drummerhauser. It's DROMERHAUSER, and
Jesus.
Yeah.
You got that memorized, right?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you.
Yeah.
You start getting better parts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you change the name?
No. Okay. So I had the name changed originally. It was Brian Drum,
Uh-huh.
but then I'm the only Brian Drummerhauser in the whole world. So I was like,
yeah, don't change that.
There's a million Brian Drums, so I changed it back. I was like, I'm the only me in this world. I'm gonna be Brian Drummerhauser. Yeah.
But the autographs, it'll take you forever.
I'll just X Joe Jackson, baby. Sign the X.
Okay. That's great. Well, you can stick around because we're going to have a roundtable discussion. We're going to talk baseball. And Gil, right next to you, talk about Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So talk about what's going on with baseball, the meetings, stop with the meetings.
Before you get into that, number one, let the audience know what company you're with before I mess it up.
Oh, you don't want to say Allstate? State Farm. My friend Vern here also is a State Farm agent. Babylon, and he is in Farmingville. So we've been with State Farm many years.
Okay, and now you guys, we met because he does all my insurance, and the fact of the matter is, you guys have been big time Yankee fans forever. Why?
Why? Well, I told you earlier, it's because my dad loved Joe DiMaggio. And I think there's an affinity with the Italians, with the Yankees from years ago.
What is it with you and this Italian thing?
There's nothing wrong with Italian. Let the guy talk.
Listen, my daughter Juliana says, Dad, you have to learn some stats. All you talk about is Italians, Williamsburg, Billy Martin. You got to do something different, That's what he told me.
That's a smart young lady.
Smart young lady. She goes to Villanova. But
you have to throw that in there.
Yeah, throw that in. Well, last time they got yelled at me because they said I only have one child when I have three. So I got in trouble. So I have two, Dean and Juliana. All right. I love the Yankees. I mean, Brooklyn. Baseball was our life. We did play the other sports, football and everything else. I mean, we didn't have Fortnite. We didn't have. We had a Spalding.
You played stickball, right?
Stickball, Spalding, boxball. We had 100 games. Every game was related to baseball.
Right.
Ray would tell you, boxball, stoop ball, whatever it was, and punch ball, and slap, and Sue was a home run, and and there was so many cars we played on the street, and the ball in the sewer. The skinny kid got down there, and we held him by his feet, and he got the wire, and he took the ball out of the sewer. But the affinity with the Yankees was my dad took me, used to follow, and. He took me to he took me to bat day, ball day, and my first game I went to, we left the Twilight Doubleheader early, and we saw Joe Pepitone outside. Mm-hmm. And my dad said...
most people don't know who Joe Pepitone was.
Joe Pepitone was the first guy that used to use the hairdryer, and he was like the precursor of...
He was a hippie.
He was a hippie.
He was an Italian hippie in baseball.
So my father said, hey, Joe, what do you... he goes, well, I'm not playing the second game, so he just decided to go home.
Unbelievable.
In the first inning.
I got to ask you, is this Dave Dombrowski sitting next to you? Or
yeah.
I'm just filling.
There you go. He's understudy.
When I make a bad trade, it's Dave Dombrowski. Good trade, so I fill it.
Okay.
So you're a Yankee fan?
I am.
So talk about your journey with the Yankees.
I'm a Yankee fan because my father was a Mets fan.
Okay.
And I was one of those kids
That's how that works.
did not conform. I had a next door neighbor who was a big Met fan also, and we just went back and forth all the time. All arguments. And of course, at that time, I was growing up in the early '70s, late '60s. So the Mets were on the, I guess they had the predominant team at that point. They'd been the World Series in '69 and won it. But there was always arguments in the street between Met and Yankee fans. I've been a Yankee fan my whole life, and some people will think I'm like the crazy Yankee fan. Like, I expect them to win every year.
Well, you're very passionate.
Yeah. I am passionate. I am. I think they should win every year. I have high expectations for the team.
Unbelievable. Relax.
Right.
Hey, we used to have to argue against Met fans. Tom Seaver, Mel Stottlemyre, Bobby Mercer. Yeah. We went back and forth. We learned this years ago. And we don't. Me and Vern, we do not like the Mets. I know it's not the type of show you like, Ray. But we're all Yankees, and when they talk about the Mets, and the guy, who cares about the Mets? They're going to lose anyway, so we don't need to talk about them.
We even have to argue against other Yankee fans.
Yeah, I got to ask you guys. I'm going to ask you too, Ray. What's the bigger rivalry? Because I got friends out there that are Red Sox fans, and you know who you are out there. So what's the bigger rivalry, the Yankees and Mets, or the Yankees and Red Sox?
Yankee Red Sox.
Why you say that?
It just is.
I hate you. I mean, when we grew up, that was it. I mean, the Red Sox. That even if now the Red Sox win, it burns you that the Red Sox win, and that the Red Sox don't care about the salary cap, and I mean the luxury tax, and we I don't know. It just when the Red Sox win, it's bad. I think if the Mets win, it's bad, but not as bad as.
Well, you know what? All you have to do is look at the history of the fights in baseball, and the best fights have always been Yankee Red Sox.
Those are real fights. Those are real fights.
Those are real fights.
You were there, right? 76,
yeah.
right?
I mean, it wasn't like these weren't fights like you're grabbing somebody's nuggets.
No.
You know what I'm saying? These are real.
I like how you cleaned up your act. I really like the words you're using. I must say, I want to compliment. It's a compliment.
I'm a McDonald's fan.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just complimenting you.